All right, hello everyone. Yeah, if you're here because you saw the title of the video, then you probably know where I'm going with this one. I'm going to try and keep this short. I've kind of had some time to sit with this topic, but I just want to give sort of a base reaction with it. For those of you that haven't seen the LCS Summer Finals Promo video, I would highly recommend that you go watch that before you see this one, just to make sure that you understand kind of where I'm coming with this, and so that you can understand what I'm talking about without seeing it. I mean, the topic will be explained here, but it makes more sense for you to go watch it. But for those of you that have, if you come back to it, or if you've already seen it, then you already know where I'm going to be drawing this point. Throughout the video, there are only basically 6 specific instances of where EG are shown in the video. It's between 6 to 10 seconds total footage of EG in this promo video. Now, the reason I have a problem with this is because this is the first promo video that the LCS is releasing. Obviously, it's a Monday, so obviously they've already recorded quite a bit of footage, or as much as they could, of Cloud9 and 100 Thieves, because obviously they didn't know who was going to win between EG and Team Liquid. But my problem with this is that this is the first video they're releasing in terms of promo footage, and when you see the way it's shot, it's not really difficult to see what the LCS is implying in this video. You have Cloud9 and 100 Thieves facing off, and I think this is hugely disrespectful to EG. First off, you don't even know that matchup is happening. You don't. You have no idea what's going to happen in semifinals. So you're preempting a matchup that may or may not actually come true. That's also like the minor problem in this, that they're preempting this matchup. The problem is that they're completely overlooking EG. There was a huge issue in spring where they did not really promo anything about EG at all. And in fact, it was so bad that they thought so little of EG coming into the spring finals that they weren't even included on any of the merchandising, which I think is like, oh, well, who cares if they were on a t-shirt? Well, it's leaving off a whole team that was at an event. So again, the LCS implying that they know what the matchup's going to be, and it turns out they were wrong. Turns out EG was really good and they smashed TL and then moved on and smashed 100 Thieves, right? So this promo video is presumptuous, and it's disrespectful to EG because you have not even acknowledged the fact that, again, they're in the event. Half the shots aren't even of the team. They're not even of the players. Like 3 of the shots are of the logo flashing. 2 of them are audio clips, and then there's like there's one shot of Impact, and then that's it. And then there's like one shot of the team. There's very little of anything to do with EG actually in that promo video. If the LCS wanted to make the event, or wants to make this event exciting and release promo footage, then they should have waited until either the end of today or early tomorrow, which I know it's awkward because they want to release something at the beginning of the week. That way they can sort of build up the hype and have something to work with. That way they can, get things, sort of going and make people excited about things. So it's a little awkward if you do that on a Tuesday, but you should have done that rather than release something on Monday that nearly completely excludes an entire team that's at that event. The first matchup is not a matchup that might be. You should be focusing on the matchup that is going to happen. EG is playing 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves are not guaranteed to make that event. They're not. We have no idea how semifinals is going to go. And there was a huge missed opportunity there to tell a very, very brief story and make, a lot of hype around EG given their story this year. Remember, at the beginning of the year, nobody thought EG was going to make Worlds. If you had told people that EG was going to be a Worlds contending roster, they would have laughed at you. Now, it's not any disrespect to EG in their early season expectations, right? We sort of had an idea that the team would be competitive. We didn't know how competitive. Obviously, North American talent that also happens to be rookies. It's kind of a brand newish team for them. We haven't really seen them play. We didn't know what to expect. Then obviously, they have not a rough spring, but a difficult spring, I would say, where, they're having to get scrappy and they're not necessarily winning a lot of games one right after the other, but they stay in contention. They start off the spring and then, kind of the way they did, they get knocked down lower bracket. They have to make that lower bracket run. They destroy everybody in the lower bracket, then make it to semifinals. They sweep like TL3L. They clean sweep 100 Thieves, like made it look easy. Had that super iconic moment with Danny, and then they qualify for MSI. They make it out of group stage. They get out of there. Yeah, it is what it is after that. They struggle. They don't necessarily have all the success. They don't make it to the quarterfinals. But you know what? They gave a pretty good showing of themselves, and they showed that they at least can contend and make a good fight of it. And then, even better, coming off of MSI, instead of, being fatigued, like most teams are when they come off of MSI, no, they hit the ground running, and they hit first again in summer season. First place. They hold on to it basically the entire time. They only drop a few games. They get into playoffs. Yes, they drop again to the lower bracket, but then they're scrappy. They have a couple of best of fives. Again, they show that even when, they might be down, they're not out. And they have an amazing story going into semifinals where they have a chance to beat 100 Thieves again and possibly, at minimum, lock in second place. And best case scenario, they beat Cloud9 in whatever fashion they do, and then they're the first place North American representatives with these young North American rookies who are actual NA talent and who have contributed a lot and have made people excited, and they've made people believe again. That's the narrative you have. But instead of telling that story, the LCS is signaling that they believe that it's going to be 100 Thieves Cloud9. Now, I know what you're going to say. I was like, well, no, because the LCS didn't technically say that. Technically, the LCS is just making a promo video. They didn't say what the finals match was going to be. That's not what they're showing, though. Actions speak louder than words. You barely include EG in a promo video that's supposed to encompass everybody in this finals event. And then you have Cloud9 and 100 Thieves facing off. They have a shot. They're both reaching for the trophy. This means that you think that it's going to be Cloud9 and 100 Thieves. It is the implication. You cannot say, oh, well, you can't say that they're implying it. They made it blatantly clear what they think. This is disrespectful to EG. This is disrespectful to those players, to the coaches, to that organization, and to every fan that's been behind them. And at this point, it doesn't matter if they're recording something else, to kind of fill in and have EG in another promo video. It doesn't matter because the first impression was this one on a Monday. 5 days out from the event, this is the first impression that the LCS believes it's going to be Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves because that's what they showed. That's what they recorded. And I know what people are saying, well, they just didn't have time to record EG. Bull, you could have waited until Tuesday. You can actually wait to get that footage out. Yes, it sucks that you're not releasing it on a Monday so you have all that time to build the hype, but that is better than alienating the team and all the fans and not including them properly in a promotional video for a matchup that you know is going to happen. You have no idea what Grand Finals is going to be, but you know that EG is taking on 100 Thieves. That matchup must happen, and arguably, it is just as important, if not more important, than the Grand Finals matchup. Because that semifinals matchup sets the whole tone for the rest of the year. Sets up the tone for Worlds, sets up the expectation, sets up everything. It's a wildly different narrative of 100 Thieves or the third seed going into group stage and Worlds. It's a crazy story if EG is the third seed and what they're going to have to do to be scrappy to get out of that play-in stage and make it to groups. Again, all these things that come into play when you're not factoring them into a promotional video. I don't know when people say, oh, it's just a promotional video. Why does it matter? It matters because this is a representation of the expectation of the finals and the semifinals coming up. And so I think it's super disingenuous and super disrespectful to EG. And at the end of the day, the video was cool the way they shot it. It's definitely very hypey. And if that was the matchup, if that was Cloud9 taking on 100 Thieves, that's a fantastic promo video. I'm really excited for that matchup if that were to happen, if that was the guaranteed matchup. But I'm not excited about that because I know that EG is also in this thing. But when you watch that promo video, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like EG are just there. They're just, EG, they're just there, right? No, they're a contender. They could be champions again. They could be two-time champions this year. They could be back-to-back. No mention of that. So I think if you go back and look at the video, you're going to kind of get a feel of what I'm talking about. The fact that you have this, really gorgeous shot between Cloud9 and 100 Thieves, which I know that they were obviously locked in for Worlds, and so they're locked in to go into that finals matchup. But so obviously there was a little more time to film it in terms of the actual timing of, after they, that matchup happened and then EG took on TL. Obviously there's a couple days difference there, but I think they should have waited. I think they should have waited, and they should have, even if it was quick, even if it was, kind of starchy, bare bones, or sort of plain, I think they should have released something with EG and 100 Thieves before they should have released anything with Cloud9. Cloud9 can wait. You already know they're there. That's not your concern. You don't have to hype that matchup up. You should be hyping up the EG versus 100 Thieves matchup. So, a little disappointing. Hopefully, maybe they learn from this. Maybe they get enough community feedback where maybe they realize that this is a mistake and maybe they, try and correct it. They can't correct it now because anything that comes out after this is just going to be, superfluous. It's not going to matter because they've already made their first impression. They've already shown where they feel the matchup's going to go. But, you know, hopefully in future iterations of this kind of stuff, they, you know, don't make this mistake again. And, you know, they focus on what they know is going to happen. And, you know, imply maybe that other things might happen, you know, eventualities, you know, potential scenarios, but, you know, maybe next time focus on the matchup that's actually in front of you and give those teams due credit. Because again, it feels like EG's not being given credit for the fantastic year that they've had. And obviously the incredible narrative that they have going into semis. Which is its own whole deal. So anyways, if you're still here, if you stuck around for this rant, I appreciate it. Hopefully, you know, you guys maybe agree with this. If you don't, obviously you'll tell me in the comments and I'll read some of those comments and, you know, see what you guys have to think. If you guys have another take on it, I'd be down to hear it. I'd love to see what you guys think. But other than that, that's going to do it for this video. So I want to thank you guys for watching and I will see you next time.